So hello and welcome. Today's practice, at the time of filming, we've just had the autumn equinox. So today's practice is going to reflect the equinox in terms of being half and half. The equinox sees the equal light with dark in the day before we tip into the winter, towards the winter. So this practice will be a balance of flow yoga and restore, as we have both those elements. So what you will need for the second half is a bolster. I have one here. You might not have one. You might get loads of cushions from your sofa. You might get 2 bed pillows and tightly wrap them around in a towel. So the equinox traditionally was a celebration of the second harvest. It's when our ancestors started to store their food and give thanks to the earth for all that she provided. So this practice will reflect that in terms of we'll be practicing gratitude as well as considering half and half, so half light, half dark. So let us begin by lying on the earth. So having your knees bent, feet are flat, and perhaps roll the shoulders back ever so lightly, touching. And all of our resources come from the earth. So just take a moment there to help, let yourself be held by the earth beneath you. Giving thanks for all that she does for us, and take a really deep breath in. Really long breath out. I'm thinking of the qualities of earth: stable, solid, rounded. And just reflect if that's how you're feeling today in the body. Some days we do, some days we don't. No good or bad, just notice. And if you are feeling nice and grounded, or almost too grounded, almost kind of lethargic, then you might slightly increase your inhale. If, on the other hand, you're feeling a little bit agitated today, then you might lengthen your exhale. So use the practice and the breath almost like medicine to bring what it is you need to bring you back to balance. So just take about 4 or 5 rounds of breath with whichever one of those resonates with you today. And we use these early breaths just to check in, not just the body, but also the mind, the energy. Carving out this time for you, to spend time really to nourish yourself and give your body back what it needs. So bringing the breath to a balanced breath now, we're coming into what we call samavriti, where our in-breath matches the length of our out-breath. So through the nose if you can. And keeping the face off, the body relaxed, just focusing on breath. So autumn is a time when we turn inward, we become a little bit more reflective. Nature invites us to slow down. And in spirit with this time of harvesting, just breathe into the center of the heart now and call to mind one thing that you're truly grateful for. And just giving thanks. And now let's think about everything that connects us to the earth, our roots, by extending your left leg away. As the left leg extends, bring the right knee in now and just start to move that thigh and shin side to side. So just kind of easing into the hips. And then what we're going to do is hawk our peace fingers around the big toe. So the index finger and middle finger, and just start to bend and straighten the right leg. And it might not straighten very much at all. So just be careful you're not gritting teeth and holding the breath. So this can look like a half happy baby or a full on what we call Supta Padangusthasana. Extend the leg all the way up to the sky now. Again, make sure the breath is not disturbed, and possibly take that leg out to the side. But keep your left hand on your left hip, really anchoring you there. Take a breath in. So stretching into the area we call our root chakra, the legs, the feet, all the way from the base of the spine. Extend that right leg up now and just circle the right foot a little bit, the right ankle. And now bend the right knee as we come into a twist. We're going to take that leg across the midline of the body and extend the right arm out to the side. Big breath into the right side of you. Breathing out, soften around the right shoulder blade. One more deep breath. And come onto your back. And let's just change legs over. So we're still very mindful of that right leg. We're spreading the right toes as we lift the left knee in. Easing that left knee side to side, the thigh. So we're massaging what we call our descending colon here. Nice and slow. And then hook onto the toe with the big peace fingers again. So peace fingers one way, not the other. Let's just extend the leg out, really kick into the heel. So again, bending and straightening, just easing into our roots. And our feet are furthest from the head. So when we can bring awareness to our feet, we tend to be less agitated, more grounded. Leg comes out to the side now as we stretch. Really full breath. This can make you grit teeth, so just notice, because that's not grounding you. And bring it in. So as we bring the left knee in, now we lovingly guide it across the midline of the body as we extend the left arm away and then breathe. So we're going to move up into some flow now and then come into stillness and the dark, just like autumn equinox. Coming onto your back now, holding onto the back of the knees. We're going to roll up and down the spine a few times. So easing out any knobbly bits, especially first thing in the morning. And then at some point, we're going to crisscross the ankles and come straight over onto all fours. So feeling everything that roots you to the earth, spreading the fingers wide, the knees are under the hips. And let's always, as always, start with cat and cow. As you inhale, the heart rises. As you exhale, you draw the tummy in and round. 3 or 4 more of those. And the breath is that really which helps us ground, not the shape. So just make sure it's smooth and long. And we're going to come straight down onto the earth now. So coming into a sphinx pose. So coming forward, let's rock down onto the thighs. And then you might come down and come back up again. Just take the hands, forearms on the earth, spreading the fingers wide, and lift the heart between the armpits. Press down into your roots, the toenails, the legs, the inner thighs, and breathe 3 full breaths into the heart space. So this gesture to really being connected to the earth with our back bend. One more deep, deep breath. So when we want to ground, we're moving really slowly. Let's come all the way down. And if your back is tender, stay with Sphinx. Otherwise, hands by the upper chest, elbows point back. Press into the toenails as you inhale into a baby cobra. And let's do 3 of those. Each time taking the third eye down. Inhale, we rise. Exhale all the way down, dropping the third eye down. Final time, lift up. Stay there for an extra breath. And now as we come down, take the arms in front of you and take a prayer. So often you see people doing this in temples, just this gesture of reverence. So breathing in, breathing out, just giving thanks to the earth. One more breath. And again, let's take the hands back now, come up onto all fours, straight back into downward facing dog if you're ready. Stay on all fours if you're not. Press the hands into the ground, take the heels back. With the breath now, very slowly, we're going to come into dog plank, dog plank. Let the movement match your breath. Try and slow it down. So inhale forward. Really explore how slow you can go. Exhale back. When we slow down, we ground. 2 more really slow. The next time you're in downward facing dog, take a full breath in. Exhale. Let it all go. Lift up your heels as high as you can. Press the heels towards the earth. Now, really consciously, like you're doing a walking meditation, take the right toes forward, drop down into the right heel, and the left toes. So super slow walk towards the front of the mat. And just feel that connection to the earth with the feet.
And come to the front of the mat. And with the feet hip width apart now, allow the head to be really heavy, like a piece of fruit about to drop off a tree. And slowly sway side to side. And let all those thoughts just drip out the top of the head. Let yourself just really be embodied. Press down into the heels now, pull the tummy in, and so slowly roll up to stand. Press down into the feet, lift the heart, take a full breath in, and then the breath away. We're going to come into a flow now. We're going to repeat it 3 times. First time slowly, then we're going to speed it up, and then we're going to drop into stillness. So taking your feet perhaps a little closer together now, we're going to come into chair pose. As you inhale, sink yourself back. As you exhale, take the fingers behind you and straighten the legs. Inhale, sweep into chair. Exhale, fingers behind you. One more. Still keep that steady pace. Next time as you come forward, you pick up the left knee and come into staff pose, it's called. So we lift up the left knee, we reach into the fingers and we breathe. From here, we come into an aeroplane pose, fingers to the ground, lift the left leg, gaze forward, take a breath. Feel the strength in that right standing leg. One more breath, fingers to the floor. And then we come back into warrior 2. So the left foot lands, it's in line with the right heel, the arch of the foot, and then we unravel the arms. Feel your feet rooting you to the earth, and from there we come up. Inhale, straight legs, straight arms. Exhale, we ground the energy down. 2 more of those with your breath. Pause, take a breath in. And then reverse your warrior. So every pose, first round, about 3 breaths. So as we lean back, we reach from right waist to right fingers and take 3 deep breaths into our right side. We rise up again to warrior 2, and then side angle, forearm to thigh, left arm over the ear. Breathe all the way into your left waist. Again, 3 really full deep breaths. Keep pressing into the feet. And now press down into the feet, rise up again into warrior 2. And then we come through our first vinyasa. So left hand down, right foot comes back. You might stay in downward facing dog or flow through. Inhale forward. Exhale, we lower. Inhale, we rise to our back bend and back to downward facing dog. And press into your feet, press into your hands, take a breath. Raise the right leg as you inhale. Look forward and step the right foot forward. Back to the pose we did recently. Grounded aeroplane. Lift up the left leg, gaze forward. Take 3 breaths. So this is our pattern today. We're going to add on. Let's take the left hand down to the right, next to the right. Take a breath in your forward fold. Exhale, press into the feet. Breathe in, rise all the way up to stand. Exhale, hands to heart. So repeating that now on the other side. Sit back into chair pose. Inhale, arms in front. Exhale, fingers behind, fold. Inhale, arms in front. Exhale to fold. Final time. And we fold. And this time we pick up the right knee. Breathing in, finding balance. Remember, it's about balance. Balance might not be there. That's okay. Deep breath. Coming back to the grounded aeroplane. Hands to floor, right leg back. 3 breaths. Keep pressing that left thigh bone back. Notice where the mind is. Dropping back into warrior 2. Left heel in line with the right arch, arms are out wide. So this will become familiar soon. We're repeating it. Take 3 breaths in warrior 2 as we lift and lower. Inhale. Exhale, ground the energy. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we ground the energy again. Inhale, we rise. Exhale, we ground, and pause there for 1 breath.
And then we lean back from left waist to left fingers. That's where we're focusing our awareness as we take 3 deep breaths. And then we come up to side angle pose, forearm to thigh, right arm comes over, 3 breaths. So pretty simple, just filling ourselves up with breath. Press into the feet, notice where the mind is. Inhale, we rise again, and we come through the flow. So remember, the flows are always optional. You can always rest in child's pose. You can always stay in down dog or come onto all fours. And in downward facing dog, once again, breathe into your whole body. Breathing in, left leg rises. Breathing out, left foot comes forward, and lift the right leg again back into that standing balance. Take 3 breaths. Right foot comes down, pause at the bottom, take a breath in. Exhale. Press into feet, breathe in, arms come up and overhead. Exhale, hands to heart. So running through that one more time, exactly the same, almost, but speeding it. We're not speeding it up, it's just 1 breath per move, but doing less breaths. So inhale, grow tall. Exhale to chair. Inhale, arms lift. Exhale, fingers behind. Inhale, arms in front, pick up your left knee. Inhale, reach into the fingertips. Exhale, standing balance. Breathe in, look forward, lengthen the spine. Exhale, warrior 2. Breathe into warrior 2. Exhale, drop into the feet. Breathe in, leaning back, right arm rises to the sky. Exhale, forearm to thigh, left arm over ears. Breathe into the left waist. And exhale, soften. Inhale, back to warrior 2. Come through your flow. So more pacey that time. Just notice if you've lost that connection to the breath. Back in downward facing dog. And you might not be there yet. Just give yourself time to work at your pace. Take 3 breaths. Every breath out, just drop awareness into the feet. Inhale, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot between the hands. Stay with the hands down. Breathe in, lift the left leg. This time we're going to tap the left knee behind the right knee, almost like a little curtsy. Inhale, leg extends back. Exhale, knee taps behind knee. Inhale, leg extends back. Final time. And now as the leg extends back, we bring the left foot next to the right. Inhale, take a flat back. Exhale to fold. Little bend in the knees. Breathe in as the arms come up and over. Exhale, hands to heart. And just close your eyes. Take 1 hand to heart, 1 hand to tummy. Heart rate might have risen. Bring yourself back to balance again, just like the equinox, that perfect balance. Just find the breath. Second time, pacey round. Let's sink back into chair pose. Fingers in front. Exhale, fingers behind. Inhale, fingers in front. Exhale, fingers behind. Inhale, pick up the right knee this time. See if you can find your balance, which might be wobbling. That's still a balance. Inhale. Exhale. Take that right leg back. Lengthen the spine. Inhale. Exhale. Warrior 2. Arms out wide. Feel the feet as you breathe in. Exhale. Drop into the feet a bit more. Inhale. Reverse your warrior. Exhale. Forearm to thigh. Right arm over. Reach into the fingertips. Take a deep breath. Inhale, we rise. Come through the flow. Steady pace. Unique pace. So just like nature does, there's no hurry. We move at our own rhythm.
And mine is naturally very speedy. I think that's why my surname is Rush, but yours might be different. Take a deep breath in. The breath out. Inhale, left leg rises. Exhale, left foot comes between the hands, right leg rises. Again, let's tap that right knee behind the knee. Inhale, we lift it back up again. Tap the knee behind. Inhale, we lift it up. Tap the knee behind. Let's expand. Right foot next to the left. Inhale, flat back. Exhale to fold. Inhale, arms rise up overhead. Hands to heart center. And press the hands together. This too is a gesture of balance. Marrying up the right and left side of the body, the masculine and feminine energies, just breathing into all of you. So we've established a pattern for the poses. That can be where you stay. This time we might just challenge ourselves a little more. So sitting all the way back into chair pose, inhale, arms in front. This time as you exhale, lift up the heels. So stay with option one if that felt easier. Inhale, heels down, arm in front. Exhale, fingers back, heels lift. Come back to chair pose, hands to prayer. Lift up your left heel. See how it feels, lift up the left foot. So this is really strengthening your roots. Now let's come back into the knee lift. So this time we're coming into warrior three. We're not dropping our hands to the floor, but know that you can as you come into a balance. Left leg kicks back, gaze forward, keep the hands at prayer. Or maybe you take the arms behind you or in front. 2 breaths. Drop yourself back into warrior two. So we've been here before, fingers out wide, take a deep breath. Lean back, left hand comes back, right arm forward towards the sky, sorry. So this time there's an optional half moon. So rather than forearm coming to the thigh, we take the right hand to a brick in front of us. We root down into the right thigh bone, we press it back, and then we turn the hips to the side, spread the left toes, raise the left arm, and breathe in. One more breath. And we land again in warrior two. And this time we come into star pose. So turning to the side, sweep the arms all the way up to the sky. And then come to a fold. Just consider now what medicine your body needs, like we did earlier. If you're really a bit agitated, stay still. If you're a bit lethargic, just move a little bit side to side. So every day we have different needs. See where you are today. And the next time you're around to the front, turn the toes. Let's come back into that low lunge and come through your flow. The right leg steps back. Once again, we come forward. We lower. We lift. Coming back to downward facing dog. Excuse me. So again, we are changing this somewhat now. Breathing in, right leg rises. Exhale, right foot comes forward. Keep the hands down this time as the left arm lifts. Once again, tap left knee behind right knee. Inhale, expand, extend. Right knee behind left knee. Inhale, extend. This time, bring the left knee to the little toe side of the right foot. So we're sitting down. And that's quite a tricky transition. So don't worry if you've got tied up in knots. We're wrapping this left arm around that right knee now and taking the fingers behind you. Breathe in, grow really tall. And as you exhale, look over the right shoulder and take 3 breaths there. So connecting back to the earth, feeling your hips. One more breath. And then another tricky transition. Come forward, take your hands down and come back to downward facing dog. And just pause in downward facing dog now. What is your energy? Have you got that high energy of summer? Or are you feeling, again, a bit more rooted? So if you're full of beans, lift up onto your heels and just do some little bunny hops.
If you're not feeling like that, stay still. One more to go. Oh, they really wake you up, they do. Take a breath, shake out the head. And then let's come towards the front of the mat. Inhale, flat back. Slowly fold all the way up to stand. I'm really feeling the heat now. It's like it's summer back here. So final round, and then we're going to start to come into the yin poses as we respect the darker, quieter side. Let's come back into chair pose. Arms in front. Exhale, lift up the heels. Drop the heels, arms in front. Remember, you can go at a lower pace. And back to arms in front. Hands to prayer now in chair. Lift up your right heel. Take a moment. This is strong. Lift up the right toes. Feel that left up. You're really strengthening it. Now we lift up the right knee. Pause at the top. Coming back into the balance. Warrior 3. Kick back into that right heel as you breathe in and out. Warrior 2. Unravel the arms, feel your feet. We're nearly done with the moving stuff. One more breath. Reverse your warrior. Right hand comes down, left arm lifts. Big breath into the left ribs. And then come back up again. So you can repeat your side angle pose, or you take your right hand to the hip and you come into half moon. So lift the right leg, lift the right arm and breathe, kicking into that right heel. Using the breath to stabilize you, to ground you. And one more. And then look down as you lift back up again. And once again, let's come into star pose. The feet are parallel. We raise the arms to the sky. Just close your eyes to feel your energy body. All those tingles. And then we come back down again. Once again, the head is really heavy, neck is long. And again, choose stillness or sway. What is it your body wants? Two more breaths, stillness or moving. And then we turn towards the front of the mat. This will be the final vinyasa. So hands either side of the foot, left leg comes back. Final opportunity for a flow. Or you skip. As in you skip the flow, not skip around the room. You can if you want, of course. Take a deep breath. The breath out. Left leg steps forward as you breathe in. Right leg rises. Those little taps again. Right knee to back of knee. Inhale, we extend. Right knee to back of knee. Inhale, we extend. Right knee to back of knee. Then we extend. Right knee to the ground now, just outside that left little toe. So coming into our seated twist. Once again, we're hugging that left knee in. Left fingers behind. Grow tall as you inhale. Exhale to soften. One more deep breath. And just like autumn, twists are about releasing and letting go. Rumi said, be like a tree and let the dead leaves drop. So thinking about all those things you'd like to let go of. And just as the farmers assess their crops, decide what to plant for next year, what not to. Let's come all the way forward. Final time, let's come into our downward facing dog. And this time we'll be in stillness. Breathing in and breathing out. Once again, just connect to everything that is grounding you. Feet, hands. And let's come towards the front of the mat. So before we come into our yin poses, we're just going to do a standing balance. Same one that we did on the ground. So come to stand. Take a moment to feel your feet. Feel that energy, that rooted energy. And we're going to lift up the right leg. So we're going to do what we did earlier with our peace fingers. We're going to hook onto the right big toe. And we're going to do the same thing we did. We're going to bend and straighten the right leg. Now, it's much more important to have a straight back than a straight leg. So make sure you're not curling forward. And as you're at home, you might be grabbing onto a sofa or a loved one. Eventually, maybe we straighten the right leg.
Few breaths here. And eventually we might take that leg out to the side. Note the word, we might. Might not be in this lifetime, and none of this stuff matters, of course. So 2 more breaths. And gently come in. And same as we did earlier, keep the knee hugged in now. Also, we did this on the ground. Swap arms as you unravel. So left hand holds the right shin, and we take the right leg back. And we might look round at the right thumb. And most interesting is the way we're talking to ourselves about our balancing. Are we being mean? Perhaps that's something we could let go. And let's come back. So a nice quote, the mind is a useful tool, but a lousy friend. So just notice what you're doing with yours. Let's come all the way onto side 2. Often this is much more wobbly side. So hold on to the big toe with the fingers. And as George Bernard Shaw said, we don't stop playing because we grow old because we stop playing. So just play, fall over. Obviously don't do it on a high-rise flats or anything, but we can play at home. So lifting up the leg, find our balance maybe. Perhaps bend and straighten initially. And then in your own time, eventually you will open that leg out to the side. And bring that left knee and then swap hands. So the right hand rests on the outside edge of the left knee and we come into the twist we did on the ground. And again, we find the breath. And let's come to stand. And close your eyes again, one hand to heart, one hand to tummy, the 2 wisdom centers of the body. And drop your awareness into where your hands are resting. And then press down into the feet. And breathe. Cobweb just above me, a reminder of autumn, all the spiders. And let's come down to the ground. So now we are at the equinox point, the equal balance point. We're going to come into lots of still poses now as we come into some yin poses. So I'm just going to get my... Yeah. So we're going to begin with a back bend, but a very mild one. So taking the bricks or books or whatever you have, we're going to come to lean back. And we're going to stretch our legs at the same time. So our bolster is going to be lifted a little bit so we can lean back. And if you're okay with a stronger back bend, you don't have to have any bricks. You can just have the bolster down. But what we're also going to do is a pose called half hero or maybe half butterfly. I'm going to give you the option. So one option is we bend the right knee and we take the heel just outside the buttock. Now, for some people, this is just too strong and it will never happen. The skeleton doesn't like it. So you might lean back, stretching your quadricep here. Perhaps even giving it a little rub. Now, if your body is not going to do that, please don't force it. You'd come into like a tree pose. The foot comes to the inner thigh and you lean back. So we're going to be here for 2 minutes. And it will be 2 very miserable minutes if you pick the wrong pose. And we'll never be grounded if we're feeling miserable. So settle in. And lean back, feeling that support beneath you. So allow the eyes to close and breathe. And coming back now to that balanced breath where you're breathing in for a count of 4, breathing out for a count of 4. And as soon as we still the body, the movement of the mind starts to speed up. So just noticing your thoughts. And just like that metaphor of the trees, let the thoughts drop away. And you might have to remind yourself over and over again, there's no drama about it. Just notice every time you drift off and come back to this moment. Got just over a minute here now. And if your mind is very busy today, some days it is, then you might simply repeat an affirmation: I am grounded, I am rooted, or the earth supports me. See which one lands better with you and say that on the exhale. So take 3 more breaths now, each one getting just a little bit deeper and longer. And then finish with a sigh. So if your knee is out to the side in half butterfly, close the knee in. If your knee's back like mine, then just ease onto your left hip as you release the right leg and start to circle the right ankle. So let that circulation come back. Maybe even shake it out. And then extend the right leg forward. So again, same thing as you did on side one. You're either going to bend your left knee and have the left foot outside your buttock. That just might not be for you this lifetime. So see what's best for you and then ease your body back. And you might just want to give that quadricep a little rub, thigh, hip socket. And then can you settle? So finding that evenness of breath, breathing in and breathing out. And just letting those thoughts drop away like the leaves fall from the trees. And a lot of the old philosophy, cultures, a lot of metaphors about needing to go into this darkness so that we can be reborn. So although winter gives the impression that everything's dead, actually there's a lot going on. And by letting all the old slip away, we get reborn again in the spring with bright new ideas, come to blossom again. So take this invitation to really slow down and just perhaps decide what you no longer wish to keep or take forward. We have about 1 more minute to go. Once again, take 3 more deep breaths. And get a little bit longer. Finishing with a sigh. And then take your time, especially if you've got that leg compressed behind you. So super slowly come up. Free up the left leg. And you can feel really old when you come out of these shapes. That is normal. Just circle the ankle. Be tender with your body. And then just bring that leg in front of you as you have a little shake. And we're set up now for our forward fold, which is called caterpillar. So in traditional yoga, we would touch our toes, but that would be far too much for a long hold. So we're going to put the bolster or whatever we have underneath our knees. And then we fold. So depending on your flexibility, you might take your hands to the bolster and tuck the chin, or you might get a little further and almost come into a little cocoon. So forehead down on your arms or a cushion. Kind of rounding in on yourself. And we're here for 2 minutes. So really 4 deep breaths. Long exhales out. And just stay here in your little cocoon, which is kind of, again, quite symbolic, like retreating inwards, hibernating.
so that we re-emerge all fresh and brand new in the spring. So final minute, just again, notice where the mind is. Lovingly, lovingly bring it back. Take 3 more deep breaths, let them get longer, deeper, finishing with a sigh. And then slowly, really slowly, come all the way up.
As you come up, take a moment to everything to settle, the energy to settle back. And then let's take the bolster to the left. So we're not going to use the bolster right now. We're setting up for the next pose. But come to lie on your back. So for our next pose, we're going to really stretch our left side before we come into a twist. So you might be familiar with the pose, banana pose. Well, this is called fallen tree. So first of all, we take the right foot to the right and the right shoulder in line with the right foot. And then maybe we bring the left foot next to the right foot if that's comfortable. And then we might hold on to the left wrist. So we're leaning to the right. Now this is banana pose. If you wish to do fallen tree, then you bend the right knee and let the knee come out to the side. So we're stretching the left side. We're adding a little hip stretch on the right to stay with the metaphor of autumn. So closing your eyes, we're here for about a minute. Deep, deep breaths into the left lung. And now we will use a breath very specifically to ground us, called grounding breath. So we're breathing in for a count of 4. Pause at the top of the breath for a count of 2. Breathe out for a count of 6. Hold the breath out for a count of 2. So 4, 2, 6, 2 in your own pattern. And then really slowly pick up that right knee if it was bent and bring those knees in towards your chest. Give yourself a little hug as you slowly rock side to side. So after the side stretch, we're now going to twist. And if there's any issues in your back, take a really simple twist. Just bring those knees over to the left. If your back is okay, we're going to do one called twisted roots, which again fits the metaphor. So the right thigh crosses the left thigh. Move your hips a little bit to the right. Right foot might go behind the left calf. So Garudasana, eagle legs, or maybe it's just one wrap. So one wrap or a double wrap. Let the legs drop over to the support to your left. And then we're twisting. So the arms are out wide. Again, about a minute here, just looking over towards the right, breathing in and breathing out. And if your mind is wandering again, really anchor it to a mantra, an affirmation such as the earth supports me, or I'm grounded, whatever appeals to you. And very slowly unravel. Note the word slowly. We're really cultivating a grounded energy now. Come back to center and just realign your spine by making sure the nose is in line with the knees. And you might then get your bolster ready for side 2, moving it over to the right. And let's come back into banana pose or fallen tree, whatever one serves you best. So left foot comes to the side. We lean to the left. Maybe right foot next to left. Maybe left knee bends into that fallen tree shape. Holding onto the right wrist as you lean to the side. So breathing into the right side of your body. And we settle. Finding an affirmation that helps you stay grounded. Take 3 more deep breaths and then get longer, finishing with a sigh. And then we slowly come onto our back, moving that bolster again. Ready for the twist. So simply taking both knees to the bolster, crossing left thigh over right, tiny wiggle of the hips to the left, maybe left foot comes behind the right and calf, and then we drop into twisted roots. And if you're not feeling grounded today, it can be nice to have your hands on your rib cage. There's this connection to yourself, to your humanness. And then we breathe, looking over towards the left if the neck allows. And just remind yourself that we are held up, always supported by the earth. Three more deep breaths. And gently, gently unravel. Really slow it down, coming onto your back. Any last little tweaks or wiggles? So our final pose is, again, an invitation. You might wish to take a traditional Shavasana with your legs long. Otherwise, finishing into a pose that symbolizes balance, Supta Baddha Konasana. So
Basically, we're looking for our knees to be in a diamond shape. It might be like mine with your feet on the floor and the knees wide over the support of the bolster, or you might have your feet on the bolster and the knee wide. That's kind of my favorite. It's a nice stretch, but not too much. Lengthen the back of the neck as you tuck the chin. You might have one hand on heart, one hand to tummy, or maybe the palms are up either side of you. And allow now yourself once again to drop into the support of the earth. Always knowing that the earth supports us. So again, the equinox, time of transition. And transitions can sometimes make us feel uncertain, anxious. So use your breath to ground and soothe and support you. Long breaths. Also a time of thanks, gratitude, as we celebrated the harvest. So perhaps again, calling to mind one thing that you're grateful for. And just finishing with a poem by Dana Folds. Just for now, without asking how, let yourself sink into stillness. Just for now, lay down the weight you so patiently bear upon your shoulders. Feel the earth receive you. And the infinite expanse of the sky grow even wider as your awareness reaches up to meet. Just for now, allow a wave of breath to enliven your experience. Breathe out whatever blocks you from the truth. Just for now, be boundless, free, with awakened energy tingling in your hands and feet. Drink in the possibility of being who and what you really are. So fully alive that the world looks different, newly born and vibrant. Just for now. So if you're comfortable in this position, stay. It's a nice one to easily stretch. Otherwise, you might extend your legs along. And just for now, let the earth receive you as you give a little bit more of yourself to the ground. And feel the feet. We'll begin at the bottom today to connect back to our roots. Just feeling the portals of the feet as you ever so lightly spread the toes. Feel the arches of your feet soften. And breathe all the way into the backs of the legs, the calves, backs of the knees, the thighs, all the way up to the base of the spine. And from the base of the spine all the way down to the heels, let the legs be heavy, weighty, and rested. And from the toes now, visualize that there are roots. And they're really connecting you right to the core of the earth. Almost like you're a tree of life. Rooting down, being really supported, nourished, nurtured, watered by the earth. And from this place of deep rootedness now, expand your awareness into the upper body, almost like your trunk. Expand awareness into the side ribs, the chest, the heart. And then reach into your branches, the arms, the shoulders, the fingertips. Allow them to get heavy and settle. Coming into the muscles now around the corners of the eyes, around the jaw. Let there be real softness there in the face. And now let your awareness rest in the space between the eyebrows. Now repeat to yourself 3 times as you breathe out, the earth supports me. And take rest here now, just resting here on the earth.
Breathing in to the whole body, the whole body. And start to make your breathing now slightly deeper. Notice all the sounds around you, the sensations around you. And then just start to move back into your roots. Spread your fingers, spread your toes. Perhaps you realize as you lie here, you need a longer rest, in which case, just press pause. Stay longer. Otherwise, let's gently, slowly start to come back up to a seat. And as always, thank you for sharing this time with me, your practice with me. We move back slowly towards the winter to be reborn again. So let's come and sit nice and upright with a tall spine, and inhale as we sweep the arms up overhead. Exhale, draw all the goodness back to our hearts, giving thanks to you for practicing. Namaste.